Hi Lee.
Hi.
How have you spent the last sort of 2 weeks since Bristol City last played?
Yeah, spent it really sort of relaxing. I would say resting, but I'm knackered because I went to Centre Parks for 4 days at the weekend and I was chasing around two 10-year-olds and I must have gone down the rapids 300 times and that's not easy. So physically tired, mentally very good and obviously refreshed as all the players would be for having a nice balance between training and recuperating with the family and really leaving football alone, if you like, for a period just to be able to come back all excited for the last 10 games.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you watched any games over that period? Maybe not then. And did you see the England under-21s when they were here, for example?
Yeah, I came to that game. I was invited by the FA, so I was in the boardroom for that one. The weekend before, where we were due to play Millwall, I didn't. I invested in a little bit of time with the wife. I did feel guilty, but she's normally the one that gets the shortfall in terms of time with me. So, we went to London and had a nice meal with friends, so that was good. And really the week after was all football in terms of England under-21s. We had an under-23 game that was important to watch. And preparing the sessions and the structure and the travel and everything that goes along with important preparation for the last 10 games.
Yeah, so obviously you had to vacate Phelan for a bit, I guess, then for AD Boothroyd to come in with the guys.
Yeah, I think so. I think, obviously, there would have been the option to go and watch training, but there was an open training session. But I speak quite regularly to AD Boothroyd, to be honest, and Lee Carsley as well, that's done a bit of work, and they've come in 2 or 3 times to watch us, and sometimes it's a case of, if they're taking over for the week, if you like, they don't want my pokey nose coming in and getting involved.
But I think David Coles was there for a bit, wasn't he?
Well, exactly, that's Colesy, yeah, he was Bielsa in it from the trees, wasn't he?
Yeah, fair enough. Are Jay and Lloyd back with the group yet? Or
not yet, no, obviously the game was yesterday, so today was a travel back day really. Tomorrow they'll come in and do some form of recovery and then train with the squad Friday. Same with Callas, who didn't get on for Czech Republic.
Just on the England under-21s finally, Callum Hudson-Odoi was originally with that group and then he got called up to the seniors. So a few rumours that he was very close to joining Bristol City on loan last summer and he might even have visited Bristol. Is there any truth in that one at all?
A little bit of truth, yeah. I spoke, obviously, his agents, and it was a player that we was very keen to bring to the football club, and his brother is a family friend of mine as well, and he's a top talent. So I think he scored 2 or 3 in one of the games that I was watching in the pre-season. I thought, oh no, Sarri had just sort of entered the fray, if you like, and he made a fantastic first impression, and it probably killed our chances of bringing him in. But delighted for him really, because it just goes to show how much young talent there is in England, and I really enjoyed the under-21s game. I thought it was a great atmosphere. I was really proud that obviously Lloyd Kelly played and played so well in that game, and obviously Jay Da Silva that we work with closely as well, although he's not ours, but he's still working with us at the moment. And I thought they were both excellent in what is a very good age group moving forward, and it really shows England as a nation, footballing nation, as a set of coaches in a really good light.
And how's the squad looking for Saturday? And in particular, Callum O'Dowd, I think, withdrew from the Ireland squad. Is it a knee injury with him?
Yeah, I think Callum's probably 50-50. It was a contact injury that he took, but just tweaked a joint and a ligament open. It's not too bad, I'd say. Well, he hasn't trained with us. He obviously went to Ireland for them to assess it. He had the scan, which sort of suggested between a 2 and 3 week type injury from the point of contact, which that's been now. So, like I say, he hasn't trained with us, but he has been out on the grass with the physios going through various movements. So Friday we'll probably push him, see whether we can get him involved.
And Stefan Marinovic, believe he played for the under-23s the other day, and he was substituted in the 37th minute. Is there anything to worry about there? Is that an injury? Or
No, he's fine. That was precautionary. He felt a little bit tight on on his thigh, and it just wasn't worth like in that sort of game continuing to play. He was only going to play 45 anyway.
I believe you played. Well, I think you said you were going to play Cardiff behind closed doors recently. How did that go?
Yeah.
And who's winning that race that you sort of hinted at to become Bristol City's number one for the rest of the season between Max and Stefan?
Yeah. Well, you'll find out, I suppose, sooner rather than later. But yeah, I might have been a bit. Now I'm sort of replaying my words, if you like. It's a little bit harsh because you never know what's going to happen. In terms of form moving forward, or performances, or mental state, or physical state. So Frankie's having his wire taken out today. So unless he has a miraculous recovery, you could pretty much guarantee that he's out to the end of the season. And Nicky Myper, like we said, has had a blood spinning treatment on the sheath of the muscle in the calf that's notoriously very difficult to get the blood supply, which aids healing too. So if he responds really well to that, it might sort of accelerate his recovery. If not, then obviously those are our three moving forward to the end of the season in Jojo, Stefan and Max.
And just on Frank, that you mentioned there, I believe he's out of contract in the summer, and as it stands then, it sounds like he might unfortunately have played his last game for Bristol City. Is that the case, or have you got a decision to make there possibly to keep him for a bit longer? How does that one stand?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the case at all. I think at the moment the focus is on this season, and at the moment the focus is on winning these set of football matches. At the end of the season I'll have a board meeting, and in that board meeting we'll suggest what we have and what we haven't got, and at that point it's not just me, it's everybody. It's almost like a group discussion, if you like, on what can happen and what can't happen. And a lot of things will affect that, but certainly Frankie, and the respect that I've got for Frankie at this football club and what he's done for this football club, is always a fantastic player to have on your rota, and in my eyes that doesn't change.
Sheffield United up next then, and Chris Wilder this week named as the boss of the team of the season by the EFL. Where do you stand on that one? Would he have got your vote?
I think he did get my vote, actually. Yeah, I think we vote for that one. I voted for a couple, and I think he's done a fantastic job. He done a really good job on getting them promoted, and then last year they had an excellent season, just fell away a bit like we did, and they've been allowed to go again, if you like, and they've signed 2 or 3 players. He plays a very unique style that I really enjoy watching and obviously playing against, and he's a good manager, and it's interesting that, do you know what I mean, you've got a lot of these sort of the foreign flair, or do you know what I mean, that sort of sexy names, if you like, and he's winning that type of award, which I think is great. And he's had to do it the hard way, effectively, by being a non-league manager and then sort of building his way up, and he's done that extremely well. So if there's anybody that deserves success, it's Chris.
But the Blaze will be a tough nut to crack, presumably, because they haven't conceded for 7 games, is it now, I think?
Yeah, but I think we've got quality. I think I've got a lot of belief in the players. I think sometimes we play better. It suits us more when the games are open and expansive. We've got a lot of athletes, if you like, that can take the ball and drive with the ball and use the space well, and that'll be our challenge. It's a difficult place to go, but we've got a good record there, and our away form's been really good this year. So yeah, I'm confident, with full respect of the opposition and what they're about. So like I say, big belief in this group of players, and well rested. You know what I mean? There's no excuses on my front, and the key is to play without fear and to go and impose ourselves on an individual and a team basis on what is a very good side. But 2 honest groups of players, and I think it'll be a really good championship game.
Just finally, Dean Henderson was heavily linked with Bristol City last summer. Scott Hogan heavily linked with Bristol City in January. 2 guys maybe that could have come down this way if there was any truth in those reports. A lot of City fans will look at those reports and say, how did Sheffield United win the race for those 2 guys? Is that, to your knowledge, a location-based thing or anything like that, or just one of those?
It could be anything, couldn't it? It could be, sometimes it's location, sometimes it's finances. Like that, I know that Sheffield United were really putting out some serious cash, if you like, in and around that striker position for that January window. And rightly so, good on them to be able to do that. And Henderson, I think, is a really good young English goalkeeper, and again, they've done very well to secure his services on loan. And I think that we're probably in the same ballpark in terms of Sheffield United, in terms of this type of players that we go for, if you know what I mean. We like English, if you like. We like solid human beings, and I think we would be competitive in that market. Sometimes teams break their wage structure or whatever for either short term or for like a marquee type player, if you like, and if that happens, then it's difficult to compete. And I wouldn't talk about those 2 players in particular because they're not our players, but often we're in a similar type market in terms of competing for players as a Sheffield United because of where we've both come from in recent history.
Thanks, Lee. Good luck to Burton.
Lee, in the previous meeting between these 2, City won 1-0. It was tight, it was tense. Do you expect the game to be like that again on Saturday, or are you expecting more of an open affair?
I suppose that's the beauty of the Championship. You never really know, to be honest. It could go both ways. I think that as the pressure, I wouldn't say pressure because it's not pressure, but as the intensity cranks up in the last sort of 10 games of the season, everything sort of appears magnified, if you like. And I'm sure that'll be the case. It'll be a intense environment, and it's up to our players to be able to deal with that and thrive in that. And that's the challenge, and I'm sure we can do it. Like I say, we're going into it strong. You know, we've got no excuses. We've got a good group. We've got a lot of numbers. We've got a lot of fit players. They know the way we play. Do you know what I mean? Nothing changes there. And we'll be looking to go to Sheffield United and put in a really good account of ourselves and get the result. That's the key thing. We want to go and get the result. We're not going there to... although we respect our opponents, we won't show too much respect in terms of obviously the attitude to the game.
And speaking of that intensity, how do you keep your squad grounded and calm and ready for the challenges that lie ahead between now and May?
I think we've got to embrace our position, if you like. I think that the bit that I don't want us to do is to play with fear. I want us to play with freedom. So therefore, you have to create an environment of allowing players to play with that freedom. And I think that we've got some really big games against good sides that will suit us because the games will be generally more open. And I think we play better, and it suits us when the game's open because we've got a lot of athletic players that can get across the ground and break through lines. So, listen, we're in it. We're ninth. We've 2 games in hand on some and 1 on others, and we've got to make those games count. And it's a 10-game, hopefully 13-game season. And the good thing is this club will move forward again, whatever happens. I think there's a few in the Championship that the pressure is so much to get up that they may have adverse performances because of that.
And just finally, away from the season, what do you make of the new Bristol City crest?
I really like it. Yeah, I think it shows again that the club are trying to be innovative, are trying to move forward. I think it's flexible. I think it's it looks nice on the sportswear where they just sort of toned it down, and then obviously you've got the badge which has been simplified, if you like, from the previous badge or the current badge. And I think there's a lot you can do with it. I think you can make it classy, you can make it sporty, you can make it historic. And I know that there's a couple of things that can come out moving in the future to again enjoy if you like, that haven't been shown yet. And I'm looking forward to all of it, really. The improvement in the kit and the training wear, which happens every year. And I think particularly John Lansdowne should get huge credit for what he's done, because I think it's his baby, if you like, and I think it's got to a point where the players are really excited about it and believe, even though it's just a badge and you've got to wear it, the truth is a percentage of the player plays for that badge and plays for the people that represent that badge, and that's why we've all got to obviously commit to believing that it's a step forward.
Excellent.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.